Simpler days, simpler times, simpler toys. The 1950s brought some of the greatest and most beloved new toys that the US had ever seen. They encouraged creativity and the use of imagination. Their sheer simplicity has stood the test of time. Here are some of the most popular Christmas wish list items by boys and girls of the 1950s. Fisher-Price Little People made its debut in 1950 and has become one of the most beloved toys of all time. The first set included a fire truck and 3 little attached firemen. Superjet and racing rowboat followed. By the end of the decade, Fisher-Price produced the yellow school bus with 6 removable figures. The success of that bus and independent characters secured their popularity for decades. Hasbro introduced Mr. Potato Head in 1952. Inspired by the idea that kids like to play with food, this toy set included a funny face kit, push pins, and plastic eyes, a nose, and a mouth. Kids needed to use a real potato or other vegetables to create their Mr. Potatoes. But after lots of parent complaints about rotting potatoes, Hasbro created the plastic potato to use. Mr. Potato Head was also the first toy advertised on TV. Matchbox cars originated in Great Britain in 1953. Creator Jack Odell's daughter could only bring toys to school that could fit inside of a matchbox. So, what did he do? He made a miniature car that would fit inside a matchbox. The cars were an instant hit and grew in popularity and quickly made it to the top of the toy wish list for youngsters in the US as well. Colorforms got their start in the 1950s too. They were first created by some art students and sold by F.A.O. Schwartz in New York. The original Colorform sets were spiral-bound booklets, followed by shadow-boxed sets containing screen-printed, die-cut pieces and illustrated backgrounds. These repositional shapes offered creativity and reusability. Popeye was the first licensed character in 1957. Gumby came to life in the early 50s, when film school graduate Art Clokey created an animated short film featuring moving and expanding lumps of clay set to music in a parody of Disney's Fantasia. Within a few years, his character developed into a little green gingerbread man look-alike. Gumby appeared on Howdy Doody and The Gumby Show in 1955, growing him in popularity. Gumby character toys successfully hit the market after that. Both Silly Putty and Play-Doh made their public toy debut in the 50s. A General Electric engineer accidentally stumbled upon Silly Putty when a concoction he was mixing of boric acid and silicone rubber dropped to the floor and bounced. After GE spent years trying to come up with a use for it, they settled on promoting it as a toy in 1950. Play-Doh was originally marketed as a wallpaper cleaner, but during the 1950s, the product was used in Cincinnati schools. The idea caught on, and its popularity expanded across the country, especially after being featured in commercials during influential kids' TV shows in 1957. Did you prefer to jump or spin? Both of these children's classics for outdoor fun were sold toward the end of the 50s. The modern version of the pogo stick popped up in 1957, with the hula hoop spinning into the mainstream in 1958. And we certainly cannot forget Barbie, who walked into our lives in March of 1959. Creator Ruth Handler got the idea after watching her daughter play with her paper dolls. She pitched the plan to her husband, a co-founder of Mattel, and that launched the Barbie franchise into the stuff of toy legend history. Barbie was one of the first toys to have an active TV marketing strategy, a model that has been copied many times over the years by other toys. Both Army men and cap guns continued in their popularity, capitalizing on the post-World War II era, as well as the growing interest in Western films and cowboy stars. The cap guns made a loud bang and emitted a little smoke when fired, much to the delight of young boys. It's amazing to look back over the toys that hit the market in the 1950s and to see the remarkable staying power of so many classic beloved toys that were introduced then and have been reintroduced time and time again in the decades that have followed. Thanks for watching Memory Mountain. If you enjoyed this video, please click to subscribe to our channel and hit that thumbs up button. Be sure to tap the notification bell so you'll be one of the first to know when we post our next story looking back over the landscape of Americana.